What's up, Headless Horde? Welcome back to the channel. Today, let's talk about my 5 most important things that need to be answered in House of the Dragon Season 2. Let's get this thing started. But before I do that, don't forget, smash that like, check out my channel memberships, $2.99 a month. You can help support the channel. My next channel membership giveaway will be on June 4th during the live for the Acolyte. All right, guys, let's get this list going. Now, these are in no particular order, but these are the 5 questions that I keep asking myself over the last 2 years. Is Aemon going to pretend he killed Lucerys on purpose? Now, it's interesting because in the book Fire and Blood, I think it's pretty obvious that Aemon did intend to kill Luke. But the show definitely takes a different turn because he screams in anguish. You can tell that he did not mean to do it. So I'm really curious to see what they're going to do with this in season 2. Are they going to play it off like Aemon actually did mean to kill him? Or did he basically lose control of Vhagar and Vhagar basically did what Vhagar does, is crush other dragons? Now, here's the other thing, is if Aemon is lying about this, if he's lying, does that mean it softens his character up just a little bit? Because right now, I would say Aemon is probably the most devious character in the show. Whenever he's on screen with one of our heroes, I actually am thinking that the hero is going to die. So is this going to soften him up if this is the route the showrunners go with? Question number 2 is Rhaenyra going to turn into a mad queen just like Daenerys? Now, she has had a rough go the last few episodes of season number 1. Not only does she lose her son Luke, she also finds out that her half-brother Aegon has now taken the throne. If you remember earlier in the season, Rhaenyra actually argued that she did not want to start a war with dragons because she said, I do not wish to rule over a kingdom of ash and bone. I mean, this is what she had told all the advisors. So is she going to turn into the Mad Queen? I think it's going to be really interesting. I think with Aegon taking the throne, I think it kind of will end up changing the way that she views this war. Question 3. Now, this one has really been digging at me. This might be my top question. Does the Song of Ice and Fire prophecy actually matter? We've seen a lot with the dagger. We know the dagger shows up in Game of Thrones. We know the dagger takes out the Night King. But if the prophecy is that Aegon, who is supposed to be Jon Snow, ends up being the one to defeat it all, why doesn't that happen in Game of Thrones season 8? Now, I get it. D&D wanted to do their own thing. You know, on top of that, we don't have the next 2 novels from George R.R. Martin, so we don't really know. This is what my biggest issue, though, with season 8 was, is if you go with the prophecy, then why are we not doing that? Why are we changing it to have Arya Stark kill the Night King just for the sake of changing something that everyone thought they knew what was coming? Question 4. Now, this one's interesting because this one is more current, and this is based on my trailer reaction to the newest trailer for House of the Dragon Season 2. I will link that right up here for you guys, and you can check that out. Now, here's the question. Is there trouble between Rhaenyra and Daemon? Because it definitely seems like that in the trailer. Now, again, know how Hollywood does these trailers. They make you think one way, and then they totally twist it over, and they change it up. But it definitely seems like in the trailer, there definitely seems to be some type of situation that is happening between the two of them that may end up affecting this war. Because if you remember back season number 1, when Rhaenyra is giving birth, Daemon leaves to keep himself busy and basically goes against orders that Rhaenyra never ended up giving. Remember, Rhaenyra wanted to solve this issue peacefully, just like her father Viserys would have. But basically, Daemon's like, no, that's not me, and I'm going to do what I got to do. And then we actually see Jacaerys confront Daemon about this action, and Daemon basically argues about how he was showing loyalty by securing allegiances for the war. The other argument we have is when they are arguing about burning down King's Landing. Daemon wants to do this. He wants to take this approach. He wants to just end it. Rhaenyra mentioned the Song of Ice and Fire prophecy that Viserys shared with her, and Daemon became upset. And this is the scene we get when Daemon actually chokes her because he accused of her of being weak, just like her father. And finally, question 5. Will the supernatural actually play any type of role in this upcoming season? You know, in Game of Thrones, we had Melisandre, we had Bran, we had the three-eyed raven, we had the whole idea behind the prophecy once we got to the later seasons. And then, not to mention that, but we also had who knows what happened with Uncle Benjen Stark. What was that about? The dude became like a zombie White Walker, still a human. I don't know what that was about. That was really odd. But are we going to get any type of supernatural? Now, new this season, we do have a new character. So, slight spoiler, although I'm not going to say much. But her name is Alice Rivers, and she definitely gives off Melisandre vibes. So I'll be really curious to see if the supernatural has anything to do with this season. And honestly, I hope it does. Except for the Bran storyline, I didn't have a problem with any of the other storylines in Game of Thrones that did involve the supernatural. Obviously, the one thing from the books that we never got was Lady Stoneheart. And they have come on record recently saying that the reason why they didn't bring her back was because they didn't want to resurrect a bunch of people, and they wanted to kind of save that for Jon Snow, you know, although Beric came back, 6 or 7 times. So maybe they forgot about that. I don't know. All right, guys, let me know, what is your number 1 burning question for season 2 of House of the Dragon? Let me know down in the comments. Guys, please, no spoilers. Don't ruin it for other people who are watching these videos. I appreciate you guys all watching. Don't forget to hit that like on the way out of here. Don't forget, keep those heads on, and I'll see you guys in the next video.